Good evening, everyone.
Ça va, Joachim?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Yeah.
It's going to be in English. You don't need that.
No, I don't. Okay. Sorry, I'm so terribly.
If there's a question in French, we'll let you know. And
I'm so bad at French. Forgive me.
don't worry about it. Okay, very simply, what's the feeling when you heard your name?
I was super happy. I'll tell you a funny story. So in the film that I made, there's a director called Gustav Borg, played by Stellan Skarsgård. And there's a scene I cut out of the film where we learn when someone introduces his film Anna, which you see a part of in the film, that he won Grand Prix in Cannes in 1998 for that. So I think it's kind of my destiny to win the Grand Prix, and I'm very proud. I'm almost as good as Gustav Borg as a director now.
Did you cut the scene when you knew you were going to Cannes, or?
No, it was just like we didn't need to introduce. It was fun to cut straight into the movie, but maybe now we should recut and put it back in. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, we got questions here.
Hi, Gunnar Railing from Sweden.
Hi.
Congratulations. You talked about Stellan now. How important was it for you to have him in the film? And did you write Gustav Borg specifically for Stellan?
I did, yes. I've been a fan of Stellan Skarsgård for many years. Sorry, it's been a long evening. For a long time. And Gustav Borg is a complicated character. He's someone who could have kind of just become just a bad father and an uninteresting person to look at. And Stellan is the opposite. He's very warm. So I think he brought a sort of three-dimensionality to it. Some vulnerability. Stellan is marvelous. I'm very grateful that he wanted to do this with me.
He is one of the best actors we have. Is he?
I agree. He's like, in cinema, you know, it's sweet. I'm sitting here and I was thinking actually that Stellan was in Breaking the Waves that also won Grand Prix. Lars von Trier's movie that I adore. I remember watching that and looking at Stellan many years ago. But yeah, no, he's great.
You said on stage that the movie is kind of carried by his actresses. And what did you tell them after you got the prize? What did you tell the ladies?
We did a little game. Yeah, I said all the actors. I didn't just say the ladies. Stellan as well. But no, I get your point. We took this and we threw it around a bit. Like everyone held. No one dared throw it properly. But you know, we shared it. We held it. We took pictures together. The editor, my co-writer Eskil, and everyone. And yeah, no, we're super proud. I mean, we make movies in a small, strange country in the north of Europe, and that doesn't have a great film tradition. So to us, this is not something we expect every day. You know. So I'm very glad about it. Yeah.
Something special in the way you work with actors and actresses.
Thank you.
Where does that come from?
I believe in, maybe it's like psychodynamics. I believe in transference. I believe if, as a director, you sit very close to them and you train together so you can look at them, then you can actually try to see them and help them. But ultimately, I think it's about casting and collaboration and trust.
Okay, question over there? Who has a mic? Oh, stand up.
Okay, sorry. Question from Brazil, Correio da Manhã. Trier, congratulations for the film.
Thank you.
When we have a movie with such a great dialogue, how to cope with the sound engineer for that? How do you design the sound of the film, especially not only dealing with the dialogues, but dealing also with silence?
Thank you. My father he's retired now, he's still around, but he was a sound designer and a sound recorder, so I grew up next to that person on set, you know? And I think that you're absolutely right. Silence is what we build towards. This film is about family, and it's about reconciliation, and it's about all that stuff that's transferred between parents and children. That's not the spoken language. So I think the sound had to deal with that somehow, to try to find in a cinematic way a way of tracing a communication outside of the spoken language, which is often full of avoidances, you know, and stuff like that. So. But yeah, no, I have a great sound designer, Gisle Tveito, that I work with, and on all the features I've directed. I'm very proud of the sound, so thank you for that question.
Gentleman with a botai.
Hello. Thank you so much for a wonderful movie and for the award. Now that you achieved to win the Grand Prix, I was wondering, how can you hold on to the essence of why you started making films in the first place?
Yeah, it's a good question. No, I grew up with the film camera in my hand. I filmed since I was a child. I'm a third-generation filmmaker. My grandparents, my parents, you know, it's intuitive. It wasn't really a choice. It was more like I'm really relieved that I was able to be allowed to continue doing it and make a living off of it as a grown-up. So no, I try to stay with the core. Eskil and I talk a lot about not losing the childish playfulness when we write, and try to be formally curious when we make movies. Can we try to do a sequence like that? Can we make an introduction to a film about a family through the idea that a child imagined when writing a paper as a child that they were a house, you know, like maybe a very childish notion, but maybe we could find like a cinematic version of that. So I think we try to stay with the core of that, and I feel, I don't know, I think me and my gang, I work with a lot of the same people, have stayed true to what we want to explore. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll keep doing that. This is an inspiration.
Yes, please do.
Hello. Great film, great
Thank you.
work. Yannis Rauzos from Greece. If you like, is it possible to describe me somehow, not just the emotional status, which is very important in this film, in the connection of the father and also his daughters, and the somehow projected daughter on the face of Elle Fanning inside the film, but also the existential depth of this special emotional status. What happening over there in between all this contradictory relationship that somehow are all faces of one single face, the face of the father?
Interesting question. Hard to answer. I like what you say. I don't know how to speak to that. I'll do my best. No, it's a polyphonic story. It's not just one character story, I guess. I think that's what I get from your question, is to try to say something about that. And I guess it's full of mirrorings. We are given roles in family. Oh, this Christmas I'm that person again, and that I was when I was a child or something. You know, we all have these roles that we end up playing, and through this notion of making some of them creative people in the family and some of them not, I was hopefully able to talk about the different modes of conveyance, transference, communication. You know, it gave me an opportunity to kind of peel back just what we say to each other, but also what we maybe not say.
See, you got a great answer.
Was it okay?
That's great, Joachim. Thank you very much. Merci
Thanks a lot.
beaucoup. Merci.